I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. After highs this afternoon in the upper 80s to the low 90s, mostly spotty thunderstorms are possible tonight through tomorrow with a cold front tracking to the southeast. Storms could be severe this evening along and northwest of a line from O'Neill to Broken Bow, North Platte, and Imperial, where there is a low-end marginal risk of level 1 of 5. Hazards including damaging wind gusts and some hail. Any rain amounts tonight through tomorrow should range from a trace to a quarter inch. Highs tomorrow cool into the upper 70s to around 80. Friday and Saturday, our daytime highs bottom out in the mid to upper 70s in most of Nebraska, in the upper 70s to the mid 80s for southwest Nebraska and northern Kansas. Dry weather lasts through at least the first day of Husker harvest days on Tuesday as a ridge of high pressure builds across the western U.S. Widespread highs in the 80s are likely for Sunday through Tuesday. Warm and dry is the outlook for the long-term forecast. Warmer than normal temperatures are very likely Monday through September 17th for Nebraska and Kansas. Nebraska and Kansas rainfall indicated to be below normal Monday through September 17th, especially the early to mid part of next week. Key weather factors the markets are watching include dry conditions continuing in the Corn Belt and dry weather for South America crop areas before the start of planting. A cold front crossing the northern plains sweeps eastward, reaching the Atlantic coast this weekend. The front sparks rain, which could be briefly heavy in the Great Lakes. Locally heavy rain lingers for several days from coastal Texas to the southern Atlantic coast. Much of the rest of the U.S. receives little or no rain the next 5 days. In areas of the Midwest where crop development is behind, the lack of rain may cause a drop in yields. Towards the central and southern plains, much of the crop is now maturing, and the lack of rainfall is not much of a concern with the later stages of filling corn and soybeans. Soils in the plains, though, could use some rain before winter wheat planting. Heat in the western U.S. spreads as far east as the plains by the end of the week. A surge of cool air trails the northern U.S. cold front, and weekend frost is possible in the upper Great Lakes. By late next week, very hot temperatures are likely in the northern and central plains and up into the Canadian prairies. Mostly dry conditions also expected for most of next week. In southern Brazil, rain today and tomorrow is likely to benefit some areas while being too light in other locations. Rain does not make it to central Brazil, which needs the rain for planting to begin on time later this month. For Argentina, mostly light rain occurs today. Rain the middle of next week only makes it to northern Argentina, which is unfavorable for wheat development and before corn planting. Across the Black Sea region, drought is expanding. Very limited rain continues the rest of this week in the Black Sea region. Any of the rain is mostly too late for filling corn and sunflowers, and more rain is needed before the start of winter wheat planting. With the check of your ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.